issues fixed. Just checking audio and movement. Everything good? Alright, looking good. Hello everyone, this is Gundam Ace, aka John Hooper. I'm here with my streaming of Secret Game Killer Queen. Now before I begin my usual spiel, I'd like to tell you that this time I'm going to break up the stream into two segments. I'm going to stream until about 6, and I'll come back around 6:30 or 7 and continue on after that. So it's going to be a two-part stream, so to speak. So just get that out of the way first before I begin. Alright, now last time we discovered after they escaped Tezuka, Soichi's group found Sakami's body, which had been brutally murdered and burned. Although they couldn't even recognize her as Sakami because of how she was brutalized. And then Soichi and Karin got closer, and Nagisa started having an internal crisis because of how this was defying her beliefs that Soichi and Karin would betray each other, and eventually she decided to put her trust in them after remembering what happened for her friend Manami in the first game she played. So now they are going off and they are trying to find more allies in order to remove Karin's collar and get up to the 3rd floor by using a PDA. So I'll start in 1 second, I'll just be right back. Okay, back now. Before we begin the route proper, I'd like to take this opportunity to do the stream bet and the bet system. So I'm going back to the scene where Sakami's body was found, so we could do that. So that way the bets match the stakes at the time. So as you can see, here are our bets. Here are our stats right now. Soichi has 3.0 odds. Sakami is dead. Nagisa has 1.7 odds. Reika is 6.0 odds. The mystery girl still doesn't have anything because we can't bet on her because she still hasn't shown up yet. Karin has 6.8 odds. Fumika has 6.0 odds. Takayama has 2.2 odds. Nagasawa has 6.0 odds. Hazuki has 6.0 odds. Goda has 2.6 odds. Urashiyama is dead. And Tezuka has 2.6 odds. So I'll let you bet on use the bet system, and then I'll let you do the stream bet first. Just a reminder, we can bet up to 100 chips on one person. We can take it back, but we can only do it on one player. Okay, so you want to go for Karin. How many chips do you want to put on her? 100? Okay. Alright. You sure about this? Just making sure one more time before I press this. Okay, here we go. Alright, we have finished the bet. So I'll let you do the stream bet before we go on. So I'm just going to jump ahead to the next unread line, and while you decide what you want the stream bet to be. Oh, you already have your stream bet? Okay. Got it. I'm recording it right now. Okay, got it. Your bet has... Okay, you got your stream bet. And I've got your own bet. So, Soichi, Nagisa, Karin is your bet. Let's see if that pads out in the end, ultimately. 1 second. Alright, now let's go jump to the next unread line. So when we last left off, I need to go back one line earlier. They had gotten the map enhancement and the door controller. Using the maps, they figure out where the non-combat areas are, and they're happy about this because they can now use that to figure out where, with the non-combat areas, they might be able to find other players and negotiate with them. And they're at least, in the very least, they're in a good position to negotiate with the 2 and the 6 due to the Joker they have. Alright, so here I go. Now that they knew where all the non-combat areas were, the group had decided to go around to those. That way, not only could they hide, but they could also might be able to find other players also hiding there. There was they had much better odds of finding someone that way instead of just wandering around aimlessly. And so Soichi's group headed onward. Yeah. Nagisa ran right in front of Soichi and thrust her PDA at him and operated it. What are you doing? I did it because I figured you weren't listening to me. Karin laughed loudly as she patted Soichi on the shoulder. Nice, are you trying to make him less picky that way? Yep, just leave it to me. Seriously, what are you doing? Soichi smiled, but it froze halfway. Nagasawa? Nagasawa appeared partly out of the door that Nagisa just opened as she'd been playing around with her controller. He was watching them while keeping his body half concealed behind the door. What's that? What's he holding? Just as Soichi thought that, Nagasawa pulled the trigger. A crossbow? What was that? The arrow grazed Karin's ear and flew off. From that, Karin finally noticed Nagasawa behind the door. Karin instinctively stood still. As Karin reeled in surprise, Nagasawa reloaded his crossbow and aimed it at the group again. Looked like he already had a fully constructed crossbow at the ready. Karin! Soichi grabbed Karin and pushed her away. At that exact moment, a crossbow arrow flew right by where Karin's head had just been seconds earlier. Soichi's bad, he's got another new weapon. Nagasawa reloaded the crossbow and fired at them again. It's not just one, two? How many of them does he have? Soichi was panicking. They're right in the middle of a long, straight hall. The only good place to hide was the door that Nagasawa was using. So they had no way defending themselves from the arrows. With a crossbow? There's something like that on this floor? Soichi cursed his own naivety. I should have been more worried about other weapons when we found that knife. Right, the knife! As Soichi wrapped one arm around Karin's head, he took the knife out from his waist with the other. Will I hit him if I throw it from here? It's my only weapon, too. And if I do hit him, won't that gravely injure Nagasawa? Soichi hesitated, but Nagasawa did not do the same. Nagasawa fired the third arrow. Whoa! The arrow grazed Soichi's hair. Nagisa hastily ran over to Soichi. From her perspective, it almost looked like he'd been shot. Apparently, it seemed like he'd been hit. Nagisa, don't! He's aiming right at he's aiming right this way. Soichi tried to stop Nagisa. If they all group together, they just make one large target. Are you alright, Soichi? Nagisa's skirt and ribbon swayed as she ran over to Soichi on surprisingly light feet. Fortunately, a new arrow didn't come flying. It seemed he didn't have more arrows loaded after that, as Nagasawa seemed to be reloading his crossbow from behind the door. Let's get out of here, Soichi. But how? If we just go running, it'll make for sorry, bleh. If the three of us run off, then we'll be wide open. We'll do this. Nagisa pointed her PDA at Nagasawa. Then she tapped the screen with delicate fingers. Oh, right, of course! The door Nagasawa was hiding behind. It was the same one Nagisa had been playing with just a little while earlier. The electronic door closed right as Nagasawa looked at it with surprise. And now this. Nagisa pressed the PDA one more time, and a red light appeared on the door's handle. I've locked it. Let's go, Soichi. Now's our chance. Right, Karin, get up. Okay. Soichi got up and dragged Karin up to her feet with his hands. Let's hurry. Knowing Nagasawa, he'll come for us again soon. And then Soichi's group ran out of there as fast as they could. You really saved us, Nagisa. I thought he had us back there. Yeah, thank you, Nagisa. Nagisa blushed with embarrassment when Soichi and Karin thanked her. Once they escaped from Nagasawa, the group caught their breath as they looked at each other for relief. I was desperate. If you try hard, you can do almost anything, right? I thought she was just a laid-back, carefree person, but it doesn't seem that way, huh? Those were Soichi's honest impressions at the time. Well, I was surprised by Nagasawa. He tried to hit us last time. This time he had this, like, metal bow-like thing, right? Nagisa apparently didn't know what a crossbow was called. If there's a lot of those kinds of weapons out there, then we're in trouble. Come to think of it, he had a lot, didn't he? About 3 or so? Karin remembered the numbers. The first one grazed Karin's ear. The second one had passed by when Soichi pushed her down. And the third one had been aimed at Soichi. All 3 of them had been loaded into the crossbow. I thought they were just knives and wooden swords. But if there's stuff like that around, then we need to be more careful. Soichi crossed his arms in thought. Had they known from the start that there were projectiles around, they would have moved more cautiously. Because they neglected to do that was why they were now stuck running for their lives. So we'll be in trouble unless we keep our eyes peeled? Yeah. Let's keep a better look on our surroundings as we carefully progress forwards. Maybe we got too carried away because our map was enhanced. Unless he got his head straight, he'd be putting Karin and Nagisa in danger. Calm down, Soichi Mitsurugi. Perhaps we could do that. It was Soichi's group who found the next participants they encountered first. That's Tezuka and that man who was with Nagasawa, Takayama, right? Yeah, I think that was it. They hid behind the corner of a hallway as the group peeked into the hall, a small hall ahead of them. The group recognized the 2 men there. Tezuka, the suspicious man, and not Takayama, the man of mystery. The 2 of them were facing each other and appeared to be facing each other as they smoked. What we do, Soichi? This is Tezuka we're up against. Karin whispered into Soichi's ear. I would try talking to Takayama, but he's with Tezuka. Soichi knew they'd have to tread carefully around Tezuka. After all, it was all but certain that he was the one who killed that girl. What if Tezuka is deceiving that Takayama guy? Are you sure we can just leave him alone? Wait, Karin. The 2 of them are saying something. Soichi motioned for Karin to be quiet and strained his ears. But they couldn't make out what they were saying, perhaps because they were too far away. Please stay here, you 2. I'm going to try getting a little closer and listening on them. If I can make it to that sofa lying by the hall, then... Soichi resolved himself to go out in front or to try to eavesdrop on their conversation. That's dangerous, Soichi. But we can't do anything from here, right? All, going's our only shot. But... don't worry, if they spot me, I'll just run back right away. Nagisa, will you take car and go to that room back there and wait for me? I don't mind, but what are you gonna do? I'll have to run back here if they spot me, so you can use your remote controller on the doors to lock it. If all goes well, you should be locked in the room for a while. If Soichi was spotted, he'd lead Tezuka and Takayama back to the room where Nagisa and Karn would be. Then once they were inside, they closed the door behind them. No, they closed that door, then retreat through the other door out. After that, they locked the door, trapping them in the room. Since they were two adults, likely wouldn't be able to keep them for long, but it should at least give them time to escape. Oh, I get it now. Alright, be careful, Soichi. Nagisa quickly agreed, perhaps because she understood what Soichi was aiming at. Be careful, Soichi. Yeah, I'll be right back. With those last words, Soichi crouched down as he treaded down the hallway. Tezuka and Takayama hadn't noticed Soichi's group's presence. It's because they were focused on each other. Though they were talking to each other, they weren't laying their guards down around the other for a second. I think it's about time you dropped the act. Act? What are you talking about, Takayama? Tezuka threw down a cigarette and stomped on it as he made a surprised look on his face. Tezuka, I know you killed that girl. What makes you so confident? I never did anything like that. Besides, I don't even know what this girl you're talking about is. Tezuka's voice grew a little louder of irritation as Takayama's silent provocation. I see, so you really did kill her. Takayama heaved smoke out from his Takayama blew his cigarette smoke out. It seemed that Takayama had interpreted Tezuka's response correctly. What? It was your shoes. The shape of those footprints were the same as the ones that were around the girl's body. They left dust footprints behind, so I'm not surprised you didn't notice. Hold on a second. Okay, got it. You were there, and yet you played dumb. But what settled it for me was Takayama then lit another cigarette and put it in his mouth. No,
そ
put,
の血の匂いがするナイフだ。もう少しナイフの手入れはした方がいい。
what gave it away was that knife that reeked of blood. You take more better care of a knife.
だったらどうする？高山さんよ。
And what if I did, Takayama? Tezuka's attitude changed at that moment. The panic and agitation he'd shown faded away and was replaced with a cold, calculating glance. All his speech and conduct up to that point had been an act.
俺と戦うのか？
You want to fight?
いや、
No. But Takayama easily turned aside Tezuka's menacing attitude.
俺はお前と取引がしたいのさ。お前が何者であるかなんて興味はない。ただ、お前に一方的に騙されるつもりもない。それだけの話だ。
I'd like to make a deal with you. I don't care who you are or what you've done. But I don't plan on being... But I don't plan on just being on the end of the seat here. That's all. Takayama was perfectly calm. It seemed he was confident that he would win even if they got into a fight. Takayama lived a long time on the battlefield. Had those sort of skills and experience. Tezuka laughed with amusement at that moment.
大したおっさんだな、あんたは。漆山なんかとは比べ物にならねえ。気に入ったぜ。
You're a fine piece of work, old man. Urashiyama doesn't even begin to measure up to you. I like you. Tezuka's face turned into a smile. But there was no trace of a smile in his eyes. They still exuded the same cold light as always.
いいなよ、高山さん。あんたのしたい取引ってやつを。ことと次第によっては乗ってもいい。
Well, go ahead, Takayama. Tell me this deal of yours you want to make. Depending on what it is, I may just play along.
簡単だ。お前が俺に手を貸す。逆に俺がお前に手を貸す。それだけのことだ。
It's simple. You scratch my back and I scratch yours. That's it.
具体的には
Could you be more specific?
俺はジョーカーを探している。俺はそれが欲しい。
I'm looking for the Joker. I want it.
ジョーカーをね。それで俺はそれに協力するとどんな得がある？
I see the Joker, huh? So? What? So? What I get out of it,
お前の殺しの手伝いをしよう。
I'll help you kill. Takayama said that as though it were nothing.
あんた正気かい？俺が人殺しだって言ったのはあんただろ？その俺の手伝いをしようってのか？
You got your head screwed on right there? Weren't you the one who called me a murderer? And you're saying you'll help me kill? Tezuka started laughing. And now there was indeed a look of humor in his eyes. It seemed he found this the situation quite hilarious.
何か問題でも？
Do you have a problem with that? But Takayama's attitude didn't change in the slightest. His expression didn't even change at all. He continued to puff on his cigarette.
なるほど。そっか。あんた俺以上の人殺しだな。
I see. I get it now. You're much more of a killer than I am, aren't you? Perhaps having perceived something from Takayama's attitude, Tezuka's face returned to its normal perceptiveness. But he still seemed like he was enjoying himself.
何か問題でも？
Do you have a problem with that? Takayama didn't deny it.
負けたよ、高山さん。俺もあんたとは戦いたくない。負ける戦いはしない主義なんだ。
You win, Takayama. I don't want to fight you. It's my policy not to pick fights I can't win.
俺は無駄な戦いはしない主義だ。
I'm not one for pointless fights myself.
だが必要なら迷わず殺すか。いいぜよさ。俺はあんたが気に入った。
But you'll kill without hesitation, will you? If you need to? Alright, old man. I like you. Takayama held his right hand out to... Tezuka held his right hand out to Takayama.
何のつもりかは知らんが。
I don't know what you're planning, but... Takayama took Tezuka's hand and gave it a firm shake.
そのナイフは抜かない方がいいぞ。
You should keep that knife out. Tezuka's body froze. Then on his face... So his face.
人に対したおっさんだ。あんたは。
You really are a fucking piece of work, old man. Tezuka lowered his left hand that was clutching a knife behind his back with a bitter smile.
そういう手合いは多かったんでな。よくあるパターンだ。
It's not the first time I've seen something like this. Happens all the time. Takayama looked at Tezuka's face and let go of his hand.
それでこれからどうするんだ？
So, what are we gonna do now?
お前の欲しがりそうな情報がある。
I've got information for you that it seems like you need.
あ？
Takayama lit a new cigarette and then handed the cigarette and lighter to Tezuka.
お前の連れが死んだ時、ホールにいた女の二人連れがこの辺に逃げ込んだ。しかも二人とも怪我をしている。
Those two women who were together at the hall where your partner died have fled somewhere around here, and they're both injured.
いい。そいつはありがたい。
Nice. That's helpful. Tezuka also lit a cigarette and smirked.
まずはその二人から行きますか。
Why don't we start with those two first? The smile on Tezuka's face would normally send shivers down anyone's spine, but Takayama's face didn't change at all, as though it meant nothing to him. Soichi managed to make it back safe and sound, but his face was pale. So when she saw it, Nagisa instinctively ran over to him.
どうしたの、宗一君。一体何があったの？
What's wrong, Soichi? What happened?
宗一！
Karin also came running over. Karin, Nagisa, we need to leave now. If you stick around, we'll be in big trouble.
どうしたの？
What do you mean? Soichi immediately turned around once he met up with Nagisa and Karin. The two of them quickly followed him. It seems there are 2 injured women around this area. I think it's Fumika and Reika. They said that they were the ones who were in the hall when Urashiyama died. They're going after them.
本当なの？
Are you sure? Karin's voice grew shrill with surprise. Yeah. And there's no doubt about it that Tezuka's the one who killed that girl. That's what they were speaking about.
じゃあ高山さんはそれを承知で手塚くんと手を組んでるの？
So you're saying Takayama's teamed up with Tezuka even knowing that? Soichi nodded as he ran down, with Nagisa asking that in a hurried voice. Yeah, so we need to hurry. I think we can ally ourselves with Fumika and Reika. We need to do something before they find them.
うん、わかった。
Okay, got it.
急ぎましょう。
Let's hurry. Nagasawa's already trouble enough, but now we've got Tezuka and Takayama to worry about. 2 new enemies. Soichi was panicking. The same went for Nagisa and Karin. Unless they got the drop on them, there'd be all sorts of trouble ahead of them. That's why they weren't as composed as Tezuka and Takayama were. They proceeded down the hallway with stern faces.
ねえ、2人がいるならどこだと思う？
Hey, where do you think the 2 of them would be? Nice operator PDA has checked the map. Soichi slow down a little so Nagisa so he could get right next to Nagisa. They're injured, so it should be in the place where they can treat their wounds. Is there any room with like water with pipes or beds or first aid kits or something like that?
戦闘禁止エリアならその全部があるみたいだけど、ここからだと一番近いのでもちょっと距離があるよ。
A non-combat area would have all of those, but the closest one here is quite a ways off. Nice operator PDA as she spoke in a troubled voice.
マークのある倉庫とシャワー室とベッドのある警備員の詰め所みたいなところならこの辺にあるみたいだよ。
Hold on a second. It seems a security office with no, there was the marked storerooms, a shower room, and a security office with a bed in it around here though.
そのどれかにいると思う？
Which one do you think they're in? I hope they're in there. Nice, so let's check them all. Which is the closest
こ
one?
の十字路を左だよ。そこから少し行ったところがシャワー室。
Take a left at those crossroads. There's the shower room just a little past that. Got it. Soichi nodded, resumed, and sped up again. Fumika, Reika, please be safe. Soichi couldn't help but pray for that.
ソイチ、ちょっと。
Soichi, wait! As they were proceeding walking down the hallway, Karin suddenly stopped and crouched on the floor. This was after they confirmed that both the shower room and the security office were empty.
これ血の跡なんじゃないかな。
This is a blood stain, isn't it? Karin pointed to something on the floor. Blood stain? Soichi passed right by, stopped there, and looked at where Karin was pointing.
ほら、これだよ。
Look, this. You're right. There was indeed a red stain there. Soichi put his hands on his knees and reached out for... Soichi got down on his knees and reached out for the red stain. It's still wet. Soichi felt warmth from it. When he looked at his finger, he saw that it was got some of the red liquid on it.
ってことはソイチ。
Which means... Yeah, it means they're around here. Soichi suddenly stopped where he was.
ソイチ君、倉庫があるならこの向こうだよ。
Soichi, the storeroom is right past here. Nagisa touched the wall in the hallway. The hallway they were in had a bit of a winding shape to it. So you need to take a little detour. Alright, got it. Let's hurry, Karin. Okay. Soichi reached his hand out. Karin grabbed it and then got to her feet quickly. We're running. Follow me. Okay. Yeah. And the three of them started running. When Soichi opened the door with all his might, the people inside looked toward him with surprise. There were two people in the storeroom. One was lying on the floor, while the other one was tending to her. Fumika, Reika, you're all right. The two of them were tense at first, but once they saw that it was Soichi, they both their faces both eased up a little.
さん、レイカちゃん。
Fumika, Reika. Oh, I don't need to say that.
いたの？
They're here? Nagisa and Karin came running to the room next. The two of them immediately ran over to Fumika and Reika.
みんな無事だったのね。
You guys, you're okay, huh? Fumika smiled when she saw Soichi's group. Her face twisted with pain from time to time, but she seemed like she was, relieved. Yeah. Soichi approached Fumika next. I'm glad you're alright too, Reika.
ありがとう。
Thank you. Reika's face also was relieved. Relieved because the three of them were still together. Both Fumika and Reika had gotten injured without knowing who they could trust. They must have been feeling great anxiety, tension, and fear.
合流できたのね、宗一くん。
So we met up again, Soichi. The five of them had separated at the hall where Rushiyama had died. Back then, Soichi and Nagisa were chasing after Karin, so they didn't have time to think about anything else. Yeah, we're fine, somehow. What happened to you guys? How'd you get injured? Reiko had been the only one injured back then, but now Fumika had also gotten quite the injury.
それはね、Mitsurugi。
About that, Mitsurugi. It was Reiko who answered Soichi's question.
途中までは高山さんと一緒に行動してたのよ。でも途中で罠にはまってしまって。
We were traveling with Takayama for a part of the way, but then we ran into a trap. A trap?
まだ見てないのかしら。この建物、たまに罠が仕掛けてあるのよ。本当にたまになんだけど。
You haven't seen them yet? This building occasionally has traps set up, and I really do mean occasionally, though.
ふみこさん、まだ寝ていてください。話なら私がしますから。
Fumika, save your strength. I'll do the talking. Reika stopped Fumika before she can continue. Judging from Reika's attitude, Soichi could guess that Fumika's injury was quite serious.
ごめん。お願いね、レイカちゃん。
Sorry. Thanks, Reika.
はい。
Got it. Reika gave Fumika a nod and turned back to Soichi's group. There was a look of pain on
高
there.
山さんと分断されたところに長沢がやってきて。それでこの始末よ。
Then Nagasawa came after we got separated from Takayama, and well, you can see how that turned out. Reika indicated her own left hand and Fumika's right thigh. You got attacked by Nagasawa?
クロスボウで武装していたわ。
Yes, he was armed with a crossbow. He attacked us too.
そうだったの。
I see. Reika's face grew even graver.
それからなんとか逃げ出してここへ。そしてふみこさんの止血が終わったところであなたたちが来たってわけよ。
Then we managed to escape into here. Then, just after I'd finished stopping Fumika's bleeding, you guys came in. I see. I'm glad you're okay. Soichi nodded to Reika and started fishing through the bag that Nagisa was carrying. Hold on a second, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back now. I don't need to go off at 6 anymore, so I'm gonna go for a little longer until I have to stop. Alright, so, let's see. Alright, so yeah, Soichi was fishing through the bag Nagisa had. He crouched down so he could get out the items easier.
あなたたちは相変わらず仲良しなのね。
I see you guys are getting along as well as always. Fumika smiled a little when she, she and Soichi looked at each other. Yes. The two of them have been a great help.
レイカちゃん、ちょっとこっちへ来てくれる？レイカちゃんの腕の怪我を見るわ。
Reika, can you come over here? I'll take a look at the wound on your arm.
あ、私も手伝う。
Oh, I'll help out too. Nice, and Karin then tried to tend to Reika. Fumika indicated the two of them Soichi indicated to them to Fumika. See? The two of them are real hard workers.
本当ね。
You're right about that. Fumika nodded happily. Once they finished treating Reika and Fumika, they exchanged information.
まさか高山さんが。
I can't believe Takayama would... Reika shook her head in a bit of a denial when she heard about Takayama and Tezuka. Her twin tail shook along with her head. Soichi could tell she was very shaken up.
レイカちゃん、宗一君たちと協力しましょう。
Reika, work together with Soichi and the others.
で、
But
怪我をしている私たちには他に選択肢はないでしょ。それにこの3人ならきっと大丈夫よ。そんなことをする子たちに見える？
we're injured, so we don't have any other choice, do we? Besides, the three of them will be fine. They look like the kind of kids who can do this sort of thing.
ね。
See? Reika started to nod at Fumika's words, but
ごめん。実は私一度宗一を裏切ろうとしたことがある。
sorry, actually I tried to betray Soichi once. Reika was lost for words when Karin said that. Karin, you idiot! Soichi instinctively raised his hand at Karin when she disrupted the peace they had going between all of them. Don't make the story any more complicated.
ごめん。レイカさん、今は違うんだよ。今は宗一のこと大好きだし。
I'm sorry. I'm different now, Reika. I love Soichi. Karin then wraps an arm around Soichi. Well, Karin still was in a cold sweat. It seems she also regretted making the conversation more difficult. Reika snickered a little when she saw them like that. She then continued to laugh.
わかりました、フミカさん。彼らと協力しましょう。
Alright, Fumika, I'll work together with them. Reika then nodded while smiling. Once she saw that, Fumika took a PDA out of her bag.
宗一君、これを見て。
Soichi, look at this. This is... The PDA Fumika held out had 6 of diamonds on it.
宗一君、さっきジョーカーを持ってるって言ってたわね。だったら、私の首輪を外せば、これでエクストラゲームのシャッターを開けられるわ。
Soichi, you said you had the Joker, right? So if you remove my collar, you can use this to open the shutter for the extra game.
やったね、宗一。
We did, Soichi. Karin was still had her arm around Soichi. Her grip tightened around him.
ジョーカーは何度使ってるのかしら？
How many times have you used the Joker? I just used it for the 5th time. So we can remove your collar now. Soichi took out the Joker and showed it to Fumika. The screen had a clown on it.
そう、助かったわ。
I see. That's a big help. Fumika then, without any hesitation, plugged her 6 PDA into her own collar. Right into the port on the bottom of it. It fit right into the slot on the terminal on the collar. Fumika seriously trusts us, huh? Soichi was happy. A loud alarm suddenly started ringing. Congratulations! The Joker has been used 5 times, so you have fulfilled your collar release condition. And with the electronic voice, the collar opened from left to right. It seemed the pattern carved on the front of the terminal appeared to be the seams, and so the lock was it was unlocked. It worked. And then Fumika's collar just fell off as though over nothing right in front of Soichi's eyes.
宗一君、この首輪も持っていきなさい。これを集めている人もいるから。
Soichi, take this collar. There's someone who's collecting these. Right! Soichi took Fumika's collar. Collar, huh? It really came off. Soichi felt like he was gonna cry. Now he knew Karin and Nagisa could be saved. Soichi was happy beyond belief about that.
それとこれも。
And take this too. Fumika put her PDA into Soichi's hand. Even when brought together, the two of them didn't weigh all that much. And yet they both felt so oddly heavy to Soichi. That was how troubled the group was.
レイカちゃん、あなたの PDA もみんなに見せてあげて。
Reika, show your PDA to others as well.
はい。
Alright. Reika did as Fumika said and took out her PDA.
私のはこれよ。
This is mine. It was the 8 of clubs. Which means...
そうよ。カリンちゃんの首輪が外れたなら、レイカちゃんのも外せるわ。
That's
だから
right.
宗一君、レイカちゃんをお願い。一緒に連れて行ってあげて。
That's right. Once you get Karin's off, then you can get Reika's off too. So take care of Reika, Soichi. Bring her with you. I will, of course, but what about you? What are you gonna do? Fumika had asked him to take Reika with them. That indicated that she didn't intend to go along with them.
私はこの足じゃ動けないわ。自分でわかるの。無理して長い距離を歩いたらきっとすぐにまた出血して動けなくなる。
I can tell that I can't move my leg like this. If I try to force myself to go a long distance, I'm sure it'll start bleeding again and I won't be able to move anymore. No. But even so, that doesn't mean we can just leave you here. Fumika wasn't moved. Didn't move. Fumika couldn't move. Soichi was well aware of that. But since Tezuka and Takayama were hunting for Reika and Fumika, he didn't know what would happen to Fumika if he left her here.
仕方ないわ。ここは私の強運にかけるしかない。
There's nothing we can do about that. All we can do is trust my luck. Bet on my luck.
待ってよ、宗一くん、ふみかさん。いい方法がある。
Wait, Soichi, Fumika, I have a good idea. Nagisa gripped her own PDA as her face lit up.
ふみかさんは戦闘禁止エリアに連れて行けばいいのよ。
We just have to take Fumika to a non-combat area. Oh, of course! Soichi's face also regained its cheer.
わかるの？戦闘禁止エリアが？
You know where the non-combat areas are? Reika also cheered out when she heard there was a way to keep Fumika safe. Yes, Nagisa's PDA had that function added to it. If they left her in a non-combat area, then that meant those who still had their collars on wouldn't be able to lay a finger on her. Then they wouldn't have to worry about her getting killed. It was safe. It might be much safer than having her than trying to force her to walk around with them.
そうと決まったらすぐ行こうよ。こんなとこでグズグズしてるよりは向こうのが安全なんだし。
Well, then let's get going. It'll be safer to head over there than just staying around here. Karin then began to gather their belongings. Just as Karin said, now that it was beginning to get late, they didn't have much time left. Yeah, you're right, let's do it. And so Soichi quickly agreed with him and began to make preparations to move. They managed to get to the non-combat area without incident. Neither Tezuka, Takayama, nor Nagasawa found them during that time. And so, without any much obstacles, they were able to make it to the nearby non-combat area. Considering how eventful their other trips had been, the group was a bit surprised at how easy it had been, but they weren't complaining about being safe. Fumika doesn't hurt too much, does it? They laid Fumika down on the bed of the non-combat area, and then Soichi pulled the covers over her.
ありがとう、宗一くん。大丈夫よ。私の心配はもういいから、あとはみんなをよろしくね。
Thank you, Soichi. I'm fine. You don't have to worry about it anymore. So take care of the others, okay? Got it. Soichi gave a firm nod. We've got 3 enemies out there. Tezuka, Takayama, Nagasawa. There's also 3 others out there. If we can meet up with those 3, I'm sure we can all get out of here safe and sound. 2 had died. They had 3 enemies. Their group was 5. That made 10 total. There should still have been 3 out there. Since they would be using Fumika's PDA to open the shutter, that meant they needed 2 more PDAs. That way they could remove Karin and Reika's collars. Which meant they had no need to come across their enemies.
残念ながらそうじゃないわ、宗一君。生存者は今9人しかいないのよ。
Unfortunately, that's not true, Soichi. There's only 9 survivors now. But Fumika said that as she shook her head. What? What do you mean? 2 more died?
私の PDA を見て。
Look at my PDA. Your PDA?
私の PDA には生存者の数を数える機能が追加されているの。
My PDA is a survivor counter on it. She activated the 6th PDA. When it did, a survivor counter appeared on the top menu. Much like Nagisa, she'd also add to her PDA via software. Remaining survivors, 9. When did it turn to 9?
昼頃からそうだったわ。
Around noon or so. And there 4 people had already died by the time we met up with Tezuka? Soichi felt shivers down his spine. Around the time where they thought they were still safe, 4 people had already died.
宗一。大丈夫よ、かりんちゃん。宗一君と私がきっと何とかするから。
It's alright, Karin. Soichi and I will be able to manage. Nagisa consoled Karin. When she saw that, Soichi felt he could leave Karin to Nagisa.
私たちは今5人。敵は3人。他にはもう1人しかいないのよ。だから宗一君たちは遅かれ早かれ3人の敵のうちの誰かと戦うことになる。
There are 5 of us right now. We have 3 enemies. There's only 1 other besides that. So no matter what, you're going to have to fight those enemies eventually. Sooner or later. There was the possibility that the remaining the other players had 2 or more PDAs. But everyone knew that it would be wrong to expect that.
落ち着いて冷静に状況を見極めるの。焦って守るべきものを見失わないように。いいわね、宗一君。
Calm down. Assess the situation carefully. If you panic, you'll lose sight of what you should be protecting. Got it, Soichi? Yeah. Soichi managed to speak up. Calm down, Soichi. Karin's still a child, and Reika's leg is hurt. Unless I get a hold of myself, Nagisa will have to carry the burden all by herself. Soichi told that to himself over and over again to calm down his racing thoughts and his raging heart.
渚さん、宗一君をお願いね。この子、意外と誰かの支えが必要みたいだから。
Nagisa, take care of Soichi. He may not look it, but he really does need other people's support.
はい、そのつもりです。
Yes, I intend to. Nagisa nodded a serious look on her
レイ
face.
カちゃん、気をつけてね。この3人と一緒ならきっと大丈夫。私はもう一緒に行けないけど、ここからあなたの無事を祈ってるわ。
Reika, be careful, okay? I'm sure you'll be safe as long as you stay with these 3. I can't go with you anymore, but I'll be praying for your safety.
さようなら、ふみかさん。今までありがとうございました。
Goodbye, Fumika. Thank you for everything you've done up till now.
また会いましょう、レイカちゃん。
Let's meet again, Reika. Yes. After she, once she saw that Reika nodded, Fumika turned back to Soichi.
名残惜しいけどもう行きなさい宗一君時間がないわかりんちゃんと妹さんを助けるんでしょ
It's hard to say goodbye, but you need to get going, Soichi. You don't have time. You'll save Karin and her sister, right? Yeah. Alright, I'll be going then. Please be safe, Fumika.
これでも運はいい方だから心配いらないわみんな後でまた会いましょう
Yeah. I may not look it right now, but I am pretty lucky, so you don't need to worry. Let's all meet up again later. And so, Soichi's group reluctantly left the non-combat area.
やっと言ってくれたか
They finally left, huh? Fumika smiled wryly a little when she looked at the door that the group had left out of. They turned back many times as they were leaving. Hold on a second. Okay, they turned, though part of Fumika was happy about it, the other half of them was hoping they'd just get a move on. The situation was just that pressing.
でもこれで私の仕事はやりやすくなったのかしらね
Maybe this will make it easier for me to do my job. Fumika said in a low voice that no one could hear. Being alone meant also meant she had the freedom to do as she pleased.
とはいえこの足じゃ今すぐ動くのは無理か
I guess it'll be impossible for me to move anytime soon with this leg, huh?
もう少しじっとして待ちましょうかね痛み止めが効き始めて血が完全に止まるぐらいまでは
I guess I'll hold still for a while and keep waiting until the painkillers start to take effect and my blood is completely stopped. And I've completely stopped bleeding. After checking the state of her leg, Fumika threw the covers over her head.
家宝は寝て待てってね頑張るのよみんなどうか無事で
All things good. Sorry, hold on a second. All things come to those who wait, huh? Good luck, guys. Please be safe. Fumika then gently closed her eyes. I'm just gonna save and I'm gonna go check the bet status. I know that we've already done the bet, but as I said in an earlier stream, I just like to keep checking the bet stats with every new scene just so we can see how they progress as the game goes on. Oh, and this confirms that Hazuki was the one who died. We don't know who the second person was, but considering Goda has been crossed out, even though we didn't see Hazuki, it was probably the mysterious girl. So, because if it was Goda, they likely would have made her read her out too. Because we didn't even meet Hazuki, and he's already been read out. So, all right, so let's just go over the odds quickly. Yeah, Soichi's went down a bit, Karin's went up a bit, yes. Originally she was at 6.8, now she's at 6.2. Probably because Fumika survived, and now that Karin's in such a big group, that probably raised her chances. Hold on a second. Alright, back. Okay, seems like waiting for one more person, so, I'm just going to... Let's see. Let's go over the... Just look over the bet stuff one more time. Yeah, Fumika's at 1.1 because she lost... So she removed her collar, so... She's more or less guaranteed to win at this point. Unless like someone blew up the non-combat area, but that shouldn't be possible with the level of weapons they have down here. Alright, we are now continuing. Since Reika's foot was injured, leg was injured, Soichi entered the stairwell hall all by himself. If he'd helped Reika move along, that actually wouldn't affect the walking speed all that much. But running away from another was a different story. Which is why Soichi had gone to check the hall by himself. Good, no one's here, huh? Soichi looked around and breathed sighs of relief as he looked at the hall. There was no sign of Tezuka, Takayama, or Nagasawa. There had been no ambush like they'd been fearing. I guess the only other place they could be hiding is around the stairwell. But despite that, Soichi didn't let his guard down. He learned painfully well before that letting his guard down even a little could have disastrous consequences. There was still a stairwell at the edge of the hall. It was a little deeper inside, so it would make a good place to hide. It's important to check if someone armed is hiding there, but... As Soichi carefully progressed, his mind flashed back to Nagasawa holding the crossbow. He couldn't hide his tension when he remembered the arrows that had nearly grazed his body. Please don't let anyone be there. Soichi prayed as he looked down the corner of the hall, looked down the corner into the stairwell of the hall. Wait, what? What Soichi saw was something far more surprising. You're right. The shutter's open. Why? Nice and Karin had gone up ahead, looked up at the stairwell. When Soichi confirmed it was safe, he brought his comrades back with him. I don't know, it was already like this when I got here. Soichi took Reiko over to the stairwell. Once she got there, Reiko also looked up at the stairwell. By the time Soichi got in here, the shutter that had been blocking the stairwell was already open. There was a PDA stuck in the shutter panel, and the shutter had been halfway open like a door. The PDA in the panel didn't display anything. Normally, when it wasn't active, it showed the design of the card it was, but it wasn't showing anything at all. It was likely that the PDA inserted there had been destroyed, just like Smith had said. What's the meaning of this? Is someone going up ahead? Reiko looked at Soichi. Hold on a second. Reiko's beautiful face stood out when she was up close to Soichi, but her face was warped with anxiety. Soichi didn't have time to appreciate her looks either. That's most likely. But then why? Tezuka, Takayama, and Nagasawa should have been going after us, right? Then they shouldn't have been the ones that opened it, right? It would have been easier for them to catch us if they left it closed. Nagisa and Karin returned over to Soichi and Reika. Maybe there was some reason they had to open it, or perhaps... You're thinking that maybe that last person opened it, right? Reika continued where Soichi left off. Everyone's eyes turned to her. A reason they had to open it maybe they had a falling out or something? Soichi, Tezuka and Takayama didn't look like they got along all that well, right? Yeah. Soichi nodded. Tezuka and Takayama both knew the other was dangerous. Only teaming up out of convenience from what Soichi could see.
あの二人ならそれもあるんだろうと思うよ。手塚は PDA を複数持ってるんだし。
Those two, I guess, could be possible. Tezuka also had several PDAs. Tezuka himself had said he was a murderer. And though it was unfortunate, they confirmed that girl had been murdered. Which meant there was an extremely high possibility he had multiple PDAs. So what are we gonna do now, Soichi? Well, I think we need to stick with our plan. Fortunately, now this is open, we don't have to use Fumika's PDA. If we can find the last person, we'll be able to remove Karin's collar. In total, Soichi's group had 6 PDAs, including the Joker. They were supposed to use up Fumika's here, but they didn't need to now that the shutter was already open. If they just got one more, they could remove Karin's collar. Now this is open. That means there's also a possibility that the last person also has gone up already. Once Soichi said that, everyone looked upstairs. So we're going to stick to our original plan and head up as we look for the last person? Yeah, I think that'd be good. Once Soichi nodded to Karin, Reika opened their mouth again. What do you mean, Tsurugi, guys? Reika? For now I agree with going up to the 3rd floor, but I think we should hold off on going any further. Why is that? The group looked at Reika again. I have to keep a watch on this stairwell from the 3rd floor hall. Don't you want to know who opened the shutter? I think it's going to be very important. I think that's very important information. Reika explained her thoughts. If we go up to the 3rd floor and keep a watch on the hall, then eventually everyone will pass through. That means that those people shouldn't have been the ones who opened the shutter. Otherwise they would have already gone on ahead. It was hard to believe anyone would open the shutter only to stay on the 2nd floor. At that point, it would be much safer to go to the 3rd floor since no one was there. If the person we're looking for comes by here, then we can try talking to them. What if the last person doesn't come through here? In other words, what if this was the work of the person we're looking for? At the present, there was Soichi's group, Tezuka's group, Nagasawa, and the last person. In other words, 4 separate groups. which meant that 3 other groups should pass through along with Soichi's. No one was there either the first time around. The first possibility is that no one was there. That was if Soichi's group was the last one up. The second possibility was one group. That would be if they were the second ones to head up. The fact that the shutter was open meant there should be one other group up there. The third possibility was 2 groups. This will only be if the group that opened the shutter went on ahead. The problem Reiko was pointing out was if the person that the group was looking for didn't pass up the stairwell.
その場合、私たちが探そうとしている人間がすでに誰かを殺している可能性が出てくるってことでしょ。
If that happens, then it's possible that the one we're looking for has already been killed, right? Especially if that person was the person who'd gone ahead was that one person. It's only one person. How had they gotten their hands on a spare PDA? In a peaceful way, like the group had gotten their PDA from Fumika's PDA? Or had they encountered a corpse or just taken their PDA? Or maybe they'd killed someone and taken their PDA?
だから時間が減って多少危険でもここを監視していたいのよ。
So though it's dangerous to hold on. So even though it's a little risky to lose time, I'd like to keep an eye on this place.
誰が通るのかを見張れば、私たちは行動の選択肢を絞り込めるようになる。そして運が良ければ、ハリーさんの首輪も外せるわ。
If we keep a watch for who passes through here, and that'll give us an idea of where our next action should be. And if we're lucky, we can also remove Karin's collar. If the person they were looking for came by later, then there wouldn't be any issues. Then Karin would be able to remove her collar. But they needed to also prepare for the possibility that all 4 main people were enemies. I understand what you're saying, and I agree with it. Nagisa, Karin, what do you guys think?
私もそれがいいと思う。
I think I'm good with that too.
私は総一が賛成ならそれに賛成するよ。
If you're for it, Soichi, and I'm for it too.
決まりね。じゃあ上に登ってしばらく階段を見張りましょう。
And that settles it. Then let's go up and keep an eye on the stairwell for a little while. Everyone nodded at Reika's suggestion. The first one he passed on through was Nagasawa. It was around 6 p.m. It was around 6:30 p.m. Just 3.5 hours until the second floor was due to become a forbidden area.
ラッキーなんだかアンラッキーなんだかわからないけど、これはこれでいいか。
I can't tell if I'm lucky or unlucky, but I guess this is fine. Nagasawa disappeared with those words, showing no signs of having seen Soichi's group hiding. For the next 2 hours, no one passed on through. There's only an hour and a half left until the second floor became a forbidden area.
誰も来ないね。
No one's coming, huh? Soichi looked into the hall. Nagisa was also looking down the hall for Chin on his shoulder. Karin was waiting for the injured Reika on standby in a room near the hall. if they were found by an enemy while they're keeping watch, then Reika wouldn't be able to get away due to her injuries. So this was for their own safety. That was why it was Soichi and Nagisa on watch. You're right.
もう全員通ったのかな。
Maybe they've all passed on through already? That could be. But though he nodded, Soichi thought something else entirely. At the very least, I don't think Tezuka and Takayama would have passed on through here. They were looking for Fumika and Reika. Soichi's group had found the two of them first, and then headed straight back here once they got their business done. It was hard to believe that Tezuka and Takayama would give up searching after only that much time. So no matter how early it was, he couldn't have imagined they would have gone to the third floor ahead of them. That was Soichi's thought process. Which would mean that it was the one person we haven't met yet who opened the shutter. There's also Tezuka and Takayama to consider. So Soichi had been hoping that it had been Nagasawa who'd opened the shutter. Because if it wasn't him, that would mean the last person was also their enemy. Possibly the last person was also their enemy. But Nagasawa would come by after Soichi's group.
宗一くん、ちょっと誰か上がってくるみたいだよ。
Soichi, wait! Looks like someone's coming up. Nagisa's voice brought Soichi back to his senses.
話し声がするよ。
I can hear talking. Nagisa lowered her voice and pointed at the stairwell. If there's talking, then that means it's... Just then, Tezuka and Takayama appeared on the third floor.
ここがすでに開いているってのは予想外だったが
I wasn't expecting this to already be opened.
不思議はねえよ。長沢なら余計な PDA を持っていてもおかしくないし、三剣と女どもに関してはジョーカーを持っていた。
It ain't surprising. I could easily see Nagasawa getting his hands on an extra PDA, and Mitsurugi and those chicks had the Joker.
いざとなればそれで開けるさ。
If it came down to it, they could have used that to open it up. Tezuka and Takayama stood on the third floor. They calmly looked around the hall.
予想外というのなら、俺たちが怪我した二人の女を捕まえられなかったことの方だろうよ。
If there's anything that surprised me, it's that we didn't find those two injured women. That we weren't able to catch those two injured women.
違いないな
You're right about that. Takayama expressionlessly nodded.
まあいいさ。どうせ6階では嫌でも鉢合わせだ。
Hold on a second. Oh well. Either way, we'll come across them on the 6th floor, give or
高山
take.
さんよ、上に行こうぜ。向こうよりこっちの足が速いのは明らかだ。急げば追いつけるし。
Takayama, let's hurry up. Let's hurry up. We're clearly faster than they are, so if we hurry, we should be able to catch them. Tezuka lit a cigarette, then passed the lighter and the cigarette carton to Takayama.
道が違って追いつけなくても6階に先回りできるか
So even if we don't manage to, even if they took a different path and we don't catch up to them, we should be able to cut them off at the 6th floor, huh? Takayama said that as he lit his own cigarette.
さあ、肩。ってこと 行きますかい大将。
Oh, that's right. So let's get going, boss man.
Ah.
Yeah. Then blew puffs of smoke as they left the hall. At the same time, in a different location, there was a room surrounded by many monitors. It almost looked like a TV station or a NASA space station control room. Hold on a second. There are many people who came and went from here. Since a big room we've had a lot of staff walking around it, then that thanks to that it made it feel cramped. What stood out about this one was that the monitors here showed two different kinds of footage. One of them was of a dirty building that showed men and women walking around. And the other showed men and women in luxurious clothing at a top-class casino.
ゴーダさん、姫様の件は無事に終了。こちらは予定通りのラインに戻りつつあります。
Goda, the incident involving the princess has been safely handled. Now we're going back on schedule. One of the people in that room spoke into the turned to the mic at the console and spoke into it. He looked like a phone operator. Just then, a woman reflected on one of the large monitors turned towards the camera and smiled. She was one of the people in that dirty building. She was holding her PDA to her cheek as though it were a cell phone.
ただでさえ忙しいんだから、次はこういうのは勘弁してほしいものだわ。
I'm busy here, so I appreciate if we had none of this next time. The woman's voice came from a speaker next to the monitor. The woman on the monitor's voice came out from there. I know there were many people in that room. They were all focused on the woman's voice.
そう言わないでくださいよ。ゴーダさんがいてくれたからこそ無事に済んだんですから。いや、封鎖したままの3階を使うのはいいアイデアでした。
Please don't say that. We were able to safely accomplish it because you were there, Goda. Seriously, it was a genius idea to seal off the third
褒
floor.
めても何も出ないわよ。それで現状は
Fire will get you nowhere. So what's the situation?
はい。カジノの方には用意したダミー映像を流しています。葉月があの子を殺してゴーダさんに返り討ちに遭うものです。
Right. We're showing false footage to the customers of the casino. That way it looks like that Halsky killed the girl, and you killed him in retaliation. Hold on a second. Okay, the man glanced at another monitor. Which showed the scene of, the woman in question holding a gun at level and firing and killing a middle-aged man.
お客の反応は？
And what are the customers' responses?
悪くないです。こちらの事情に気づかれた様子もありません。
Not bad. Doesn't look like they call it. It doesn't look like they suspect a thing.
じゃあプレイヤーたちの方はどうなの？
And what about the players?
現在2階が侵入禁止に。生存者は陸島を除いて全員が3階へ上がっています。
At the present, the second floor has become a forbidden area. Apart from Rikishima, all the survivors have gone up to the third floor.
フミカさんが？彼女はどうなったの？
Oh, Fumika didn't? What happened to her?
重傷を負っていたので首輪を外した時点で戦闘禁止エリアに残されました。
She suffered a serious injury, so once they got her collar off, they left her in a non-combat area.
なかなか面白いことになってるじゃない。
Sounds like things got interesting.
ともかくこれで一安心です。
Anyway, now we can relax. A look of clear relief swept over the man's face as he talked to the woman.
だいたいわかったわ。それじゃあそろそろ私も行くわね。やることはたくさんあるし。
Yes, I understand more or less. I better get going myself. I've got a lot to do. The woman waved at the camera.
終わったら食事でもおごりなさいな。
I'll treat you to dinner once this is over.
もちろんですよ、郷田さん。今度はことがことだけにきっと経費で落ちますし。
Hold on a second. Alright, back. Of course, Goda. After everything that's happened, I'm sure you can write it off as an expense.
しっかりしてること。まあいいわ。データだけ送っておいてくれる？あとは任せるから。
I see you've got your priorities straight. Oh well, whatever. Just send me the data, alright? I'll leave the rest to you.
わかりました。
Wait, hold on. Alright, yeah. I understand.
よろしく。じゃあ切るわね。と忘れるところだった。あれよ。だいぶ前に言った件だけど。
Very well. I'm gonna hang up. Oh wait, I almost forgot. About what we talked about way back. The woman was about to hang up. Then she continued talking until she remembered something.
あれですか。
Oh, you mean that?
ええ。そろそろ頃合いだと思うから進めておいてくれる？さっきの騒動ですっかり忘れてたわ。
Yes. It's almost time, so... could you... So, hold on. I think it's about time, so could we go ahead with it? I completely forgot about all the chaos earlier.
わかりました。
Understood.
そろそろ渚ちゃんにも働いてもらわなくちゃね。ずいぶんあの子たちに入れ込んでるみたいだし、ちょうどいいわ。
We're gonna have to make Nagisa work for her own pay, too. Seems like she's integrating nicely in with those kids, so it's perfect. The woman smiled with amusement.
それじゃね。準備ができたらまた連絡をちょうだい。
Bye. Once it's all set up, call me again, alright?
わかりました。
Understood. The voice from the speaker cut off. Then the woman on the monitor waved at the camera 2 or 3 more times.
大した人だ。
She sure is a piece of work. Right as the man muttered that, the woman moved out of the camera's line of sight and disappeared.
参戦回数が多いってのはこういうことなのかね。
Guess this is what happens when you participate in... This is what they mean what happens when you get numb from participating in war too many times. The woman walked off. Another monitor showed the woman walking off. The man watched as he felt relieved that she was on his side. Okay, I'm thinking this is probably a good cutoff point for today. Considering it's been about 2 hours. So yeah, they've got they're up against Takayama, Tezuka, Nagasawa, and Go is unlikely to be sympathetic. So yeah, they're gonna have a lot of trouble trying to get the last PDAs, it seems, in order to fulfill Karin and Reika's conditions. So we'll see how that turns out next time, but until then, we'll see you.